it was more like I was able to give of myself, which has always been a part of my life. It's always been some sort of service.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, as Aydon was saying, like I am the one who had to freaking craft the whip on these kids because Aydon was there carrying their boards. Like, oh, I'm so tired. Can you carry my board? And I'm like, nope, this is not happening this way. Like, you surfed, you're carrying your own board. Eventually, we're not going to be there. So, and also we want to like develop this like sense of responsibility in them because eventually they're going to be the leaders out there. And they're going to be mentoring other smaller kids. And those kids are going to have to develop their shoulders and their arms and carry their own boards. You know, they won't always be there. So, I mean, there's so many other breaks that they won't have someone there that's going to be there for them. So, I mean, a lot of breaks are tough, and there's a lot of like locals there who are unforgiving. So, we want them to know that, but especially as young children of color, but not only young children of color, but all the children that we have. Because we don't have just the children of color, even though that's who we do want to reach and influence. We want to instill all of that in them. And, you know, Dad over here is always trying to like baby them. And I mean, we try to have that balance. We try to have that balance for sure. And, you know, that give and take, you know, so I try and make sure that they're, you know, that they're focused as much as possible when they are in the water, and that they're focused on, I don't know, just that they have a sense of responsibility because, all of this takes a lot out of myself and Aydon and our volunteers and coordinators. Like, they work super hard. All of us work really hard and give so much of ourselves throughout the week with all of our jobs, with school, all this stuff. So they need to know that they should appreciate this stuff. And, you know, and we expect them to do the same, to give just as much as we're giving, you know, because at the end of the day, even if they don't give as much, we're still going to give that much of ourselves, you know, but, and they know that. And they know that we love them. And that's really what it comes down to. Is that, like we said before, we're a family. No matter what they give, we always love and pour all of ourselves into.
It's very apparent, even from the outside. You could feel the love. You really can feel that. And the care that you have for them, and also connecting that with the 360 approach to surfing, right? It's not just the water, but also this moving beyond your local break. So this idea of travel, this idea of like the world outside of where you live is so important. Like you said, Aydon, for what football did for the kids you grew up with in terms of leaving Rockaway and accessing different worlds. So I know you also are trying to get your girls to go out. Did you take them to the Wilmot camp in Jamaica? I know Chrisana comes up here, and there's always this kind of, she's so beautifully active in our New York community and really wonderful. And so it's really beautiful, this idea that you're making connections with other communities, very rich surf culture there, rich culture, period. They have the music events there.
Genesia, that surf camp is just, they're all super talented when it comes to photography, to art, to their music, their surfing. They're beautiful people in general. And so there was a lot for the girls to learn when we took them there.
Right. Oh, just a footnote for our listeners who don't know, they are the first family of surfing in Jamaica. I can't remember the father's name, but he was Billy, Wilmot. He was one of, I think, 3 or 5 guys who brought surfing to Jamaica, and all his children are pros, and there's a new generation coming, and they're all just shredding and, you know, getting sponsored and making waves on the global stage.
Yeah, they were very instrumental in helping us develop the program that we're using now.
Yes.
Warren took a trip down, so we met them. They came to New York. We spent some time. Krishana is like the aunt of, you know, the girls who introduced us to so many people. I think including yourself.
Right.
Krishana,
yes, actually, that's how I did meet you.
Right.
I did meet you through her.
Exactly. And so when we met them, the invitation was thrown out. Warren flew down months before the trip and spent time down there working. He didn't go eat lobster. And he actually, I would get pictures back in Warren and be worn out sun up to sundown. He was at the camp working with, giving lessons and learning how to, properly provide lessons.
Yeah. From the time I landed, and probably an hour later, I just put my bags down and oh yeah, there's a lesson at 10. I'm like, I had to go. We're teaching they teach a lot of international students. I mean, people who come from all over to learn surfing down there in Jamaica. And so they just threw me into the fire. They're like, okay, what do you know? So I'm there teaching, and then I was there for a while, and they would show me the ropes of what to do and what not to do, and kind of like their like surfing styles. They're amazing. They're a lot better than I am. Eventually I'll get there one day. But then once the girls got down there, like I knew exactly what to do. I knew the break. I knew like all the breaks we were going to. I knew like where I needed to be to get them into certain waves and stuff like that. And the family, the Wilmots, were completely supportive. Specifically, Ika was like always like by my side and mentoring me the whole way. So they really influenced the way that we teach the girls and the way that we've structured this whole thing. We definitely hope to get them out to other breaks as well and hopefully have them with us. We were thinking about Costa Rica this year and things like that, but COVID happened. We weren't able to do such a thing, but we're definitely planning to get them out to other places. And it was huge, not only for their surfing, but also just culturally in general to get out of Rockaway to experience something else. And the girls were amazing. Like they were so well behaved. And I mean, I was like deathly afraid because it's just like, I was the only guy and it was like a bunch of like surf moms and the girls. And that was just me and my little cousin Ian, he's 10, who went out there with me. So we're the only guys on this trip. And then Aydon left me. So yeah, he stayed behind.
So I started a new job a few weeks before and I wasn't able to go. And when I told Warren, if you saw the look on his
turned
face,
down a Jamaica trip, Aydon.
International trip, about 9 preteens and teens and a few surf moms. And Warren was the only one.
Yeah.
Wow. Kudos, Warren.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, even though you're in Jamaica, I don't know.
No, they were really amazing. Especially, I mean, like for me, my background in general is like a security background, like being in the Marines and traveling so much. And, you know, so when it came, I'm like super overprotective of them. So I was like, from like security aspect of like knowing how things should be run and like what I need to do to make sure they're safe constantly. They all listened. They all did amazing. They all like had no problem with food, with anything. So we're like really blessed to have the kids that we do have.
Amazing. And you have so many girls, which is so unique also to the program. I think it's really great to see. I mean, there's just an influx of girls in surfing, and that's very unique to, I think, this generation. It's actually this time, I think, even for older women, a lot of women entering the water. And I know you have a lot of really great volunteers. How does, you know, Aydon's grandpa and Warren is the sergeant, but like, what do the women bring to the program?
Aydon and I, especially from my, like I said, from my background of like that, like military background, I just want to like be very direct with them and I can't. So I had to like learn how to talk to a 12-year-old girl and I can't reach them the same way that our volunteers would. They have this like bond that's amazing. Like the girls imitate the volunteers. Like they're like so in awe of each other.
Oh,
and
that's
so
something
sweet. That's a relationship that Aydon and I don't have to the girls as much as we love them to death. We just can't connect with them on that level.
Right.
So,
and then you also connected Laru Beya when the WSL had the Longboard Pro event last year in Long Beach. The program that Jessie Miley Dyer does, the Rising Tides program. What was that like for the girls doing that event and surfing with these legends?
It was probably the highlight of their surfing career.
Wow. They did so well too. My goodness.
You heard things like, I'm never going to wash this shirt. Just imagine. Okay. So I'm a big football guy. And out of the blue one day, I get to meet, not just meet, but play with all of my heroes, like all of my, all the greats. I'm on the field with them.
Everyone you follow on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is how it was. I mean, they're standing there riding waves. And they caught waves. I mean, they went out there. It was pretty big.
I absolutely saw, yeah.
They caught waves, and it was probably the highlight of their.
And there were so many of them catching waves at the same time.
Yeah,
it was shocking that nothing happened. There was so many.
This is what I'm telling you. It was huge, and there was so many kids out there. And here goes our kids, and this was streamed live all over. So even like Jamaica, we were getting texts. We have one little girl. She's like stature-wise, well, she's got taller now. She comes down and she's riding this huge wave, and then she does this little switch stance, and it's all over the. They were just so stoked, you know, and that just made the whole year because, like I said, at the end of the year when we're vamping up for the following season, it's really daunting. It's like you're drained. It's a lot of work that goes into it, and it was just a really, really good way to end the year. Now we're doing winter surf, so the year never ends now.
Right.
Yeah.
But that must be amazing to be able to surf with your role models. I really love during the last beach cleanup, you joined forces with Benny's Club. And I love this kind of intersectionality. It's not like these mutually exclusive groups that identify one way and, another way, or even though there's overlap and whatnot. And I love that you joined forces and they speak so highly of you as well. And I know, Aydon, you're a big fan of Benny's Club. And how did you join forces? How did you meet?
Again, our collective, our group of organizers. Mm-hmm. One of the things that's beautiful about what they do is they have an opportunity because of our busy schedule to meet. They're always on the break. Mm-hmm. So it's so many of them, they're always meeting great folks. Mm-hmm. And they were out surfing and we have a weekly meeting, and they came back and they were like, we met this great group out there, and it's very similar to us. They're trying to get other people who are not usually. And they were just so stoked about them. And they were like, you got to come out this weekend. You got to come out. Let's go to Beach Connect, meet them and, bring the girls out. And it was amazing. Mm-hmm. That first day with the two groups coming together, we were on Beach 73rd Street. Yeah. And it was magical. Like waves came out of nowhere. And you had, this group of people who were just not representing, who've always been the outcasts, who have to deal with so much just to be out there and catch a wave. And we just took over the whole break, and they were just catching waves and hooting and hollering, and so amazing, the folks over there. It was wonderful. And we were like, look, we've got to do some stuff together. We've got to get together. And you have to understand, we're right here on Beach 67th Street, and they were right here, like 2 breaks away. And we had no idea.
Yes, it happens like that sometimes.
Yeah, they definitely have. They have such a similar spirit. That's like a kindred spirit. It's so great. So it was no problem with us meshing with them and collaborating with them on anything at all. We just love to see the lineup as diverse as possible. We want to see everyone have fun, but then also everyone be safe, and also have this responsibility to take care of each other as well. So if there's someone on the break who's like not, who's on the water, who's not as, proficient as you are, just be respectful of that. Let them, we all started somewhere kind of thing. So I think they definitely appreciated the fact that, that we all kind of like came from the same place, the same mindset. So I think that was another reason why we just all meshed so well.
Oh, wonderful. And Aydon, given you don't surf and you receive the kids when they come out of the water, what's it like after they've surfed?
So they'll come out 5, 6, 7, whatever in the morning, and they'll surf for hours and just have all this energy. And the minute they come out, I'm hungry. I can't carry the food. Where's the food?
That's kids.
It's that, it's that type of thing.
Oh God.
It's all part of it. It's all part of it, but you can imagine how that is. Mm-hmm. To begin with, they're again, teens and preteens. Yeah. And so if you've ever had, a family member at that age in your house,
pit. Forget about surfing.
Put a lock on the fridge. It is a bottomless pit. So they'll come out and they want food. They want it now. God, they don't want to have to shower and get it. And Rockaway, this particular area is not the cheapest place to find it. You're not in some neighborhood where you can just get a $5 plate of.
Right.
It can get quite expensive. Mm-hmm. And so when we try to provide that, we try to provide healthy foods, have healthy snacks on hand. You'll see my van. We'll have his big cooler back there with, fruit and drinks and, keeping them hydrated and everything else. But, I tell people all the time, people think this too. So people will pull up, and one guy was like, oh, God bless you. You've got 8 daughters. Oh my goodness. Like, they're not all mine, bro. It's only one. Well, they are all mine, but he would see me every week, and he would see the minivan, and I would have these, van loaded, all these boards on top. Yeah. And he just, figured they were all my kids. Like,
soccer dad waiting at the sidewalk.
Exactly. Right.
In the parking lot. Well, I just wanted to highlight ways that people can support what you do. Some calls to action. It's all on your website. People can go there.
LaruBeyaCollective.com.
Right. LaruBeyaCollective.com or your Instagram page. And there's the monthly beach cleanup. They could also find you at Beach 67 in your car, your maroon minivan. But the ways that people can contribute, whether they be volunteers and giving time, or a donation of monetary and equipment contributions. And then I think sponsors on an organizational level, right? Is there anything you'd like to kind of add or break down that's maybe not as apparent